Hi and welcome. Do you like success? Money? Wealth? Or rather love, a great relationship? Finding the right person to be with for the rest of your life? Or are you keen on this director job in your company? Weird questions? Everybody would like to do that, to have that. You will maybe answer, or maybe most of it, except some people which might find their joy in other things. But usually everybody would say yes. Let me ask you, are you on the way to success? Are you on the way to achieving everything you want? Do you see it coming? Or are you struggling, one step forward, two steps back? Sometimes it seems, yes, there is some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. But then suddenly everything changes and you are not that sure any longer. Your wife thinks of a divorce, maybe, and the IRS wants more money, even if you paid them quite a bit the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months. How do you feel? And you even did your affirmations regularly that you saw on social media so often. The guy told you, you just have to do this regularly, your affirmations, and you will get everything you want after a while. Nobody defined how long this while would be, but at least he told you so. So why is this happening? And some thoughts are coming to mind. How can I change this for the better? What can I do? Should I work harder? Can I just get one wish fulfilled? Not maybe 2 or 3 or all? What can you do? Welcome to Mind Power Reality Check. My name is Dirk. This channel is all about uncovering the real potential of the human mind. Can we actually program or reprogram our subconsciousness? Can we change the way we see things? We react to others or situations? Can we maybe even influence situations or create situations, avoid situations? Can positive thinking bring real results? How about affirmations? Or these omnipresent vibrations you find on social media a lot? Some say you just need to tune into the right frequency, like a radio station, and suddenly your reality changes. Is this true? And what does science say to all this? Does science confirm it? I mean, vibrations? That sounds scientifically, right? But before we dive in, why am I even doing this? Why does this topic fascinate me so much? Ever since I was a kid, I have been fascinated by how our mind works. I remember hearing stories about people who visualized success and actually achieved it. At the same time, I also saw people struggle despite thinking positively. So what was the missing link? What did some do that others didn't? What is the missing link? Is it just luck? Is it positive thinking? Is it destination? Is it fate? What is it? Ever heard of Sir Francis Galton? Hopefully I pronounced this name correctly. Well, here's a fascinating story about him. He lived from 1822 to 1911 and was author and natural scientist. Once my mother told me a story about him, when I was around 15 years old, that impressed me quite a bit. This story. It is said that one morning, when he lived in London, he wanted to make a self-experiment about mental training. He visualized very intensely, but just for a couple of minutes, that he was the most hated person in London. Then he went out, having his usual daily walk in the city of London. First, not much happened at all. But as he walked on, he noticed that some people turned away from him with an expression of disgust on their faces. Then some people threw cuss words at him. This astonished him quite a bit, you can imagine. Then there was more. A docker bumped into him with his elbow while passing him, so that he fell down into the dirt. He got up, as the docker didn't help him at all, he had to do this by himself. He finally wanted to walk by a horse that stood at the side of the road. Well, the horse didn't seem to like him either. As he went by, it kicked and hit him hard by his hip, so that he fell down again. As he was lying in the dirt, there were some people attracted by this, and they joined the scene. But nobody helped him. Instead of helping him, or find maybe some words of consolation and ask what happened, they took sides of the horse. They found reasons why the horse did what it did, and nobody even had the slightest intention to help him up. That was finally too much for him, so he stopped this experiment and he went home in a hurry, as you can imagine. So he thought this over when he arrived at home without further incidents, and he decided to have another experiment the next day. So the next day he also took his usual walk around or through the streets of London, but this time he had visualized before, seen himself as the most liked and loved person of London. This time nothing bad happened. People he didn't even know said hello to him in a very friendly way. Everybody was friendly to him and people seemed to like him. No rude docker and no kicking horse. It was a nice and pleasant experience for him this time. After I heard this, I was like, whoa, really? But is it true? Can such a quick response to thoughts and emotions can be true? Is it just an urban legend? I don't think so. So it is. You can read it on Wikipedia and also in other sources. Is the vision that our mind can shape the reality just wishful thinking, or is it selective perception? Let us find out. As it is the first video, I'd like to give you a little background about me so that you get to know me a bit better. As a teenager, I always was interested in nature sciences and also electrical things and so on, and so what many young people are doing. But I made this a profession then after I had to make a choice what to do. So I had been studying chemistry, finished it with a PhD, and then first worked for some time in a company that produced scientific databases. And yes, besides science, I was already at this time fascinated by the IT. So while studying, I started programming in different programming languages like BASIC first, and then Pascal and C, C++, C#, things like that. And as the year passed by, I became an IT project manager. First, of course, my career started in the IT with the database stuff. And then I was a programmer for a while, I was an engineer for a while, and I had been doing projects. So let's say I was a freelancer and doing several projects. In the end, I became an IT project manager, doing many projects in different, mostly big companies. I found out that my scientific education was great, helping. I found out that my scientific education was great help in doing IT work, because it helps finding solutions instead of problems. So what can you expect from this channel? Basically everything success, everything mind power, different point of views, different techniques and different success recipes will be looked at and will be scrutinized to find out if there's some truth in them, some true core that you and I can leverage to make your lives more successful, to lead a successful, wealthy life, just as we would like to do that. Of course, you will get in-depth descriptions of how-tos so that you could, if you decide to give it a try, you will know exactly what to do. The topics here will be multifaceted, from techniques psychologists recommend, some that sounds plausible, that also science is accepting, lots of stuff. But even there will be still some tricks and twists that you can leverage and that you might not know right now. But we will also dive deep into the so-called spirituality, the law of attraction, well known, and much more. And no, just because I started as a scientist, just because I am a scientist, that doesn't mean I am not open for things that sound far away from what the current science says. So I'm not a so-called skeptic in this respect, denying everything out of the current science status. But on the other hand, of course, those things have to be verifiable. There has to be some truth in them that can be proven statistically or by other means. If you and I don't know the mechanics behind it, how it functions, that is okay. But if we know that it works, we can use it. If you are not a physicist and you don't know how the sun can produce such massive amounts of energy, you still can enjoy it and get a nice tan after being some hours at the beach. So see what I mean? Lots of things work even if we don't understand them, and some don't, even if science says they should work. From the universe, for example, we know that we just see a small percentage. If somebody would have stated this some decades ago, he would have declared as completely crazy, completely nuts. Today we know, or let's say science has to assume, that the so-called dark matter and also the so-called dark energy has to exist, because otherwise all those spiral galaxies out there wouldn't be able to exist for a long time. All those stars would just drift apart from each other and our universe would look completely different, if it even would still exist. And the names dark matter and dark energy just stem from the fact that nobody knows what it is. Back to mind power. I've tried different techniques myself. Some worked a little, some didn't. I've seen friends use affirmations, manifestations, and even things like Grabovoi numbers. We'll come back to this later. So everything I mention here will be, of course, also mentioned later in some other videos in much more detail. And like many of you, I have asked, is this real, or are we just convincing ourselves it should work, but we are doing something wrong? Why are we not getting the desired results then? That's why I started this channel. It's about answers I found, answers I am tracking down, and just to find answers together with other people. So, for example, you, if you would like to join. Talk, experiment, and separate truth from hype. That is what it is here all about. Would you like to join? I would really appreciate if you would decide to be part of this journey. It is not just about being a believer or a skeptic. It is about being open for both sides and look at things with some common sense also. And to have the courage to acknowledge if something works, or on the other side, to let something go, even I would have liked it to be working so much. Why would I lie to myself? Better a short disappointment than after years to have the feeling to have wasted the time. And be honest. Would you believe in something that turns out to be not working for you and not be of any use in your life, except maybe some kind of lessons learned feeling? Or on the other side, would it be good for you to put aside something that you know it works, and would your life make better only because a friend of yours told you it to be not scientific? So both two sides of the same coin in this respect. And furthermore, if you have something you would like to be discussed here, just write it in the comments down below. Several topics you're interested in, and also your experience with some of the things I'll present here, or your experience with things you would like to talk about. This channel is not one way. Just mention themes that are burning issues for you. Write what you have done to become more successful, wealthy, more loved, to bring things into your life that you desired. And just tell us if it worked or not. And of course, if the information presented here on this channel is helpful and useful for you, like and subscribe, and I will be very happy to see you in my next video. Bye for now, have a wonderful day. See you.